Hey, what's up, boys and girls? This is JJ here with a review demo of the Strymon Volante. The Strymon Volante is a magnetic echo machine. So, in other words, it's Strymon's take on the tape echo kind of pedal. So this gives you really cool, like analog recording studio reel-to-reel tape echoes. It's got a studio setting. It's got a tape setting, which is like an outboard tape machine, and it's got a drum setting, like the Vinson Echo Rec, I suppose. It's got stereo ins and outs. You can set it for instrument or line level, so you could use this for keyboards and like electronic instruments too. It's got MIDI. You can hook up an expression pedal. It's got tons of knobbies on there. It's got your signature Strymon favorite switch. You can store a preset under that switch, so you can use two different settings in a live situation. It's got tap tempo, and it sounds terrific, like you would expect from any Strymon pedal. So who is this for? If you're I wouldn't buy this if you're simply looking for like a simple slapback delay. It's probably a little bit too complicated for that. But if you're into like multi-head kind of delays, like you hear in a lot of pop music these days, if you're into worship, or if you want a really cool, like Jimmy Page kind of Echoplex sound, you can achieve that with this pedal. Throughout this demo, throughout the audio examples, I was playing my 1985 made in Japan Fender Telecaster thin line, which is all stock except for the tuners, because they crapped out on me a couple of weeks ago. So now I guess it's time to take a close-up of the pedal, and I'll explain the controls to you. Alright, so here's a close-up of the Volante. As I said, it's got your bypass switch, it's got your favorite switch built right in, with some Strymon pedals, like the Flint. You have to hook up an external little Strymon foot switch to access that favorite setting. It's got tap tempo, and this has also got secondary functions, which are reverse, pause, and splice, which I will not get into in this demo. You can hold the bypass switch for infinite sounds, and basically that's that. Here's the ins and outs. So your instrument and line level selector, I had it set to instrument, of course, because I play guitar. Stereo ins and outs, but I was using it in mono, going straight into a Boss Katana. There's a USB socket there. It's got MIDI. It's got an expression pedal output, or input, whatever you want to call that. So, and how this works, the most striking visual feature is, of course, these little push buttons, which are very Electro-Harmonix-like, the way they look. These are actually your virtual tape heads. So if you would press both of these, that's simply going to give you the final tape head. If you press this one, it's going to be right in the middle, and you can achieve multi-head kind of sounds. You can set those with these, and you can even go for like different settings for left and right. This one's important. This is the type selector, so it selects drum, tape, or studio. Then you've got your time control right here, which has an additional speed toggle, which allows you to set normal, half, and double times. So there are different bandwidths of delay times. And then, of course, you've got your repeats and your echo level, which is pretty standard on a delay pedal. And this here is the spring reverb, which is cool because you can do Roland space echo kind of things with it too. Now the spacing control allows you to kind of blend these tape heads and move them more towards each other, or the other way around, which makes for very interesting tones. Then there's 4 controls that you don't see very often on an echo pedal, which is mechanics, wear, recording level, and a low cut. Now low cut is a very convenient feature to have on a pedal like this, because you don't want the echoes to be too boomy, so you can cut out some of the lows, especially when going into a dirty amplifier like I did in the audio examples. Now wear is the wear of the media on the machine. So the wear on the tape, if you increase that, it's going to sound all murky and warbly, which is what a lot of guitar players love, of course. Then recording level is basically the analog gain that's going into the repeats. If you set it all the way down on the studio setting, you're not going to get any repeats. You can just use the reverb, and you can make them sound a little bit dirtier, I suppose. And then mechanics, which is the most interesting control on this pedal, you can kind of set how broken or how messed up the echo machine that you're virtually using is. If you want to have those really dark and moody, murky tape delay settings, sounds, you can mess with the machine, kind of beat it up by using this control. So in short, that is a look at the Strymon Volante, a terrific echo unit if you're into the old school kind of tape and drum echoes.